if through only hygiene of physical, take care of physical sort of health, without hygiene of emotion, then too much anxiety, too much anger, like that. So we must pay more attention, hygiene of emotion as much as hygiene of physical. So now more and more scientists now really showing how to take also the method to reduce anger, anxiety, fear, then how to develop inner peace or tranquility. So these are I usually call the hygiene of mind, hygiene of emotion. So number of scientists now really showing interest. So regarding Tibet, I want to preserve this knowledge. And Tibetan language is best language to explain very detailed about our mind, different mind. Now modern also scientists about brain, they have very good knowledge about brain, but they now newly develop among the brain specialists. Now there is something which affects our brain, that we call mind. So therefore, now taking care about mind, meantime taking care about our brain together, I think very, very important. So therefore, now say the Tibetan knowledge come from ancient India and very much based on logical approach. Now number of scientists also now showing interest. So, and then as a Tibetan, ecology. Tibet, usually you see people call roof of the world. Major river of which was the Kasa in China, Kasa Jodi, Yangtze River in China, and then Bangladesh, this area, and Brahmaputra, and India, Ganges, and some Pakistan side.
Indus.
Indus sort of river. All these major river which cover most of Asia is come from Tibet. So it is very important to take care about the ecology of Tibet. You see, some scientists now, because global warming, now Tibet also now eventually face the shortage of this water. So therefore, one of my commitment is try to preserve ecology, and then we have to pay more attention about these rivers. Like that. So, and then that's regarding, you see, my responsibility regarding Tibet. And most important, preserve knowledge which we kept over 1,000 years, which come from Nalanda. It is very useful, very useful. Besides just knowledge, I think best way, hygiene of emotion, like that. So now, now today, you, Ukrainian, Ukrainian, the recent sort of the collapse of Soviet Union, that these newly independent nations is come. So today I'm very, very happy, great honor, you see, to have some discussion with Kasa.
Teachers, Ukrainians.
Ukrainian. Lithuanian. Ukrainian, yes. Ukrainian friend.
Дякую вам.
So now, as I mentioned earlier, we are all same, want a happy life. Happy life means, as I mentioned earlier, peace of mind. So now, different language, different culture, different sort of culture, different habit, not much differences. We all want peace of mind. Regarding answer, I always say, make very clear. If the point I do not know, then I no hesitate. I don't know. So one occasion in England, one English gentleman, he approached to me after my talk. Then one tea party, and one English old man approached to me, and he expressed to me, "You have the courage to say I don't know." So he very much appreciate. So at that time, I thought, oh, English people, you see, even do not know, they so suppose they know. Hypocrisy. Like that. So you see, any question, frank question, and including, you see, some with question, some argument. I love argue, because our tradition, Nalanda tradition, when we study, always argument, like that. Thank you. As I mentioned earlier, the existing education, usually I say modern education, which come from West. So one my Indian great friend, Kokasa community, quantum Rajaramanan, one Indian great scholar. He once, told me, for example, quantum physics to the West, something new. In this country, in India, over 2,000 years, that concept already developed. So you see the differences of appearance and deeper reality. Most of destructive emotion very much based on appearances. So appearance, there is gap, appearance and deeper level of reality. So now, as a psychologist, now we should, when anger come, when fear come, very much based on appearances, then go deeper level. Then the very sort of factor of anger or attachment, all on the basis of appearances. Then once we realize because of the appearance, not exist as a reality. So then emotion automatically reduce. So now here important, we should pay more attention about psychology. Here quite helpful, the quantum physics. So now we can ask a child, they appreciate smile or appreciate more serious face? That's a simple answer, no, simple question. Since we are social animal, we depend on the rest of the society, community. So the best way to bring harmony is smile, not formality like that. So the officials, they are something different. So even a smile, artificial smile, sarcastic smile, these things, you see, are not helpful to bring sort of genuine friendship. So at a young age, by nature, we have the knowledge, smiling, and sense of concern of our companion. Now that is basis of human value. So all these, the conflict, you see, we too much emphasis on different secondary level of different culture, different language, different sort of nation. So we have to think deeper level, we are same human being. We have to live on this planet. I think historically, the Soviet Union, one sort of one bloc, eventually, you see, that's not practical. So then eventually, the Soviet Union, with I think help of Yeltsin and Gorbachev, you see things much sort of soft. So these, you see, totalitarian system is not fit with human being as a social animal, not fit. Individual freedom, very important. So our life based on artificial, then in deeper level, never sort of happy. We must sort of use basic human nature and openly like that. Now I'm Tibetan, but major portion of my life spent in India. So if I too much emphasis, I'm Tibetan, then you see, you may psychologically, mentally, you may find some differences. But I always emphasize we are same human being. Then of course, particularly India, Tibet in India, historically very close link. Since I have strong feeling oneness of 7 billion human beings, wherever I go, different part of the world, I always feel we are same. So you, firstly, same human being. Secondly, same European. And then within your own sort of community, same culture, same language. Now important is utilize freedom. The totalitarian system, human beings, individuals' way of thinking, controlled by central authority, that inhuman being, outdated. So now already, you see, this totalitarian system is not fit on human society. Now Soviet now change. Now China still totalitarian system, but eventually that will change.
Pandemic, disease.
This illness, very unfortunate, but I think human history, in different part of human community, I think such things sometimes come and disappear. Now today, because of information and because of our new modern reality, you see, the whole world, like global economy. So now East, it is very clear, Eastern depend on Western, Western depend East, similarly South and North. So now some illness, that also now becomes something worldwide. So now I really appreciate number of scientists, number of doctors, nurses, now really caring is in this
serving
this illness. So it is quite unfortunate. Now already now happen. Just worry and demoralize is no use. These things, these illness, you see now some scientists, some the nurses or doctors already now carrying some research work. So without losing our courage, self-confidence, must work hard. Demoralize is a failure. No matter how difficult it is very important to keep determination and with hope always possible to overcome these problems. So that I lost my own country and a lot of problems or suffering inside Tibet. But we never lost our courage, self-confidence. We always keep determination. And determination also, you see, should be realistic. Unrealistic determination is not much use. So warm-heartedness is the source of determination. And with warm-heartedness and our brain combined, warm-heartedness brings willpower. And willpower should be based on reality. So we should utilize human brain, combine these two things. If some impossible thing, even you determined extra problem. So firstly, warm-heartedness and determination, willpower. And then second, our brain, use brain, whether that we can overcome or not. If nothing can be done, and then just, you see, accept as a part of reality. Eventually, the whole world disappear. The global warming, the next few decades, I think global warming reach such a level then eventually many parts of the world may become desert. Then there's the end of humanity on this planet. Okay. But I have no worry. My now age, 86, 86. So next few decades, I think no problem. Then those younger people, you may live another more decades, then you may face the problem of global warming. Yes, it is very important. Now, teacher, suppose you see showing path or future of the younger generation. So now, existing modern education, as I already mentioned, very much based on material value. And also I mentioned physical hygiene. Now, that is not adequate. Now we must pay more attention about our inner value, inner peace. So, as I already mentioned, about inner sort of world, I think Asian knowledge, Indian knowledge about mind, how to keep peace of mind, and how to control anger, fear. Now these should be, these you see, as information come from religious side. But we should consider these are not part of religious thing. These should consider academic subject. So in modern education, I think should include education about our mind, about psychology, these things. That brings inner peace. So modern education only concerned about material, external material thing is not sufficient. Now modern education should include knowledge or education about our inner world. This is my feel. And strictly secular way, nothing to do with religion. Okay. Yes, quite. Like you see medicine, some illness, even some poison, useful. So similarly, in order to achieve greater goal, and then you see try to control some mischievous people. That's reasonable. So student, some student very lazy, then sometimes you see need a little bit also the wrathful method. My own case, when I study, I'm quite lazy. My teacher always keep whip to threaten me. So in order to achieve greater sort of value, sometimes little tough control is reasonable. Okay. But all this should come out of sense of concern, compassion, not hatred, not anger. Out of sense of concern, then in order to achieve a greater goal, then utilize some rough method. Okay. Now, I think you see thinking the broadly, that's very important. Then over several thousand years, you see, human generations, I think several billions of human beings, no one live. So we are part of humanity. So sooner or later, we have to go. That's nature. Too much self-centered attitude, me, without thinking the holistic way. Then, you see, these things, when actual sorrow, also the sign of death come, then very much sorrow, kasota, surprise or kasota, shocked. But otherwise, you just accept where there is a beginning, there must be end. So we human being eventually end come. Now important is while you alive, you should be something also your life should be meaningful life. That means, roughly speaking, we are social animal. One individual, as long as you live, you see, among the society, make some contribution, at least provide some happiness. You should not be troublemaker among the human society. That's important. Then end come. So no regret. At the last breathing, you feel happy. I carry my life as a meaningful way. I never create with negative motivation and create more problem. I never done that. Then you feel at the last moment, you get feeling of peace. Okay. At the time someone dying, his or her friend, I think should reminds him peace of mind, compassion. If religious minded person, if theistic religion, then think God, like that. Then non-theistic religious follower, and then simply, you see, think peace of mind. Now, I think every human being, even animal, everyone want happy life, do not want disturbances. So me also as a human being, I want also the happy life, and not only just oneself happy, since we are social animal, so you should be something serving to our human community. So I'm just simple Buddhist monk. I'm trying to sort of also contribute happy individual, a happy life. So the number of people who really also appreciate is a peace of mind like that. So that's my dream. And now actually as a Buddhist practitioner, one of my main practice is altruism. So according to that, one versus as long as space remains, sentient beings remain, I will remain in order to serve them. And within this life, till my last breathing, I can make every sort of small contribution regarding peace of mind. So now here, even you see, and for that, patience, very important. In order to practice patience, your troublemaker, so-called your enemy, is best teacher. So, practice of patience, not from your teacher, your friend, but so-called your enemy. So, one ancient Indian sort of master mentioned your enemy is best teacher of your practice of patience. So, I think it is quite wise. Friend always see friendly face. If you try to bring genuine smile from your enemy, that's great achievement. That's so like that. So altruism is the source of ultimate happiness. It's very important. My daily practice, main practice, is altruism. As soon as I wake up, I think altruism. Wherever you live, you see, try to create happy community. You see, as a practitioner of altruism, I pray every sentient being, and particularly every human being, should be happy. So, wherever you live, you try to also bring more happier community, happier friend. And particularly when individual facing some problem, and share their problem and try to bring inner peace. That's, you see, help my prayer. Okay. And then as I mentioned earlier, you see, my work promotion of compassion on the basis of oneness of 7 billion human beings, and then religious harmony. Then regarding Tibet, you see the preservation of Tibetan rich cultural heritage. Now in these fields, wherever you live, you see, think these things and share with more people. So that's, you see, what's the best way to help me. Now, younger generation is the future of the world. So we must look them like precious way, or about future. So basically, as I mentioned earlier, you see, through education, aim of education to bring peaceful society, peaceful individual. For that, warm-heartedness and this brain more sort of with wider perspective, not a single, focusing on single. Then you see, sometimes even you see some small tragedy happen, suffering happen, demoralized. But if you look the more holistic way, then this is some problem happen. You feel, oh, this is okay, this is normal. There is a way to overcome that. So no need too much worry. So warm-heartedness brings inner willpower, and with help of our intelligence, look more broader way than any sort of difficulties or problem happen, you can maintain peace of mind. In order to achieve happy individual, since we are social animal, it is very important happiness of the community. Sometimes too much I want happiness and don't care about other. It's wrong. The reality, individual's happiness very much depend on happiness of the community. So actually, the wise or best way, selfish, is think other. That's the best way, realistic. Selfish oneself and not thinking about other. Now, for example, the farmers, you see, they take care about farm, about land, not out of compassion or a sense of love, loving kindness to the earth, but because your life depends on them. So similarly, our community is basis of our individual's happy life. So you should take care about the community. So in that sense, now today, world, in a way, world become smaller. Everything interdependent, very clear. So therefore, the sense of universal responsibility is very relevant, and that brings your deeper satisfaction. And think yourself, and then small problem happen, you very much disturb. Think broadly, whole world. There's some problem here and there. It is part of, it is part of reality, but there is always possibility to overcome these things. So, more, broad-minded thinking, that's very important. And plus, determination on the basis of altruism, like that. I think in a way, this was an illness, large number of people. So some sense of concern for larger number of people. Individual illness, just take care, one individual. But this illness, you see, brings sense of community and helping. So in a way, it is good. As I mentioned earlier, number of doctors, nurses, even if some sacrifice their own life. So they're unfortunate, but it can utilize for because of the deeper,
constructive purpose.
Or more constructive thinking, like that. Thank you. Thank you. As I mentioned earlier, we are truly brothers, sisters. And basically, our life, some problems always there. So meantime, we also have the ability to overcome these problems. So main thing is we utilize human brain properly, combined with warm-heartedness. Then every problem can overcome or at least can minimize. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Дякуємо вам.
Thank
До
you.
побачення.
Дуже дякую.